Welcome back. Part two of the God Never Said That series. And this week we're talking about, do I have to be good to be saved? 4 categories of people. Person A, good alive. Person B, bad alive. Person C, good and dead. And person D, they were bad and dead. Now, according to the scriptures, where are these people? Like, what are they doing? Well, the good alive people, you and I, we're doing our thing, we're living our life, we're going to school, we're going to work, we're having kids, getting jobs, getting degrees. Also, according to the scriptures, all the bad alive people, what are they doing? The same exact thing. Watching this video, getting jobs, going on dates, they're in school, right, living their life, doing their thing. So there they are. Here's the thing, according to the scriptures, what is person C doing? The good, dead people. The people who are good, but they're dead. What are they doing? According to the scriptures, they are in the grave sleeping, right? This biblical idea of death is like a sleep, okay? So they're in the ground, not doing anything. They're not seeing anything, they're not hearing anything, they're not like watching us, they're not having a conversation. The last thing they know was the moment before they died, and they're just been asleep ever since. So they're dead, asleep in the ground. Good dead people. But then also, according to the scriptures, what is person D doing? The same thing. In the ground, asleep. They're not watching anything, they're not talking to anyone, they're not seeing anything, they're not burning anywhere, they're not experiencing pain, they're not being tormented. According to the scriptures, and we can talk about this later, but the bad, dead people who have walked the planet, they are in the ground, dead, asleep. The last thing they knew is the last thought that happened right before they died, and then they've been asleep in the ground ever since. So that's what they're doing right now. Now, according to the scriptures, what happens next? And this is super important. According to the scriptures, what happens next? Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. That was for free. Here, according to the scriptures, Jesus comes back to earth. We call this the second coming, right? So here comes Jesus in the second coming in the clouds of glory. He calls us home. And then, according to the scriptures, when Jesus comes, what happens first? According to the scriptures, all of the, which person? All of the good, dead people. Person C, they resurrect first, right? That's what the scriptures teach. So there they go. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Person C, they are resurrected, they come back to life, and they ascend to Jesus. And then, according to the scriptures, what happens after that? According to the scriptures, you and I, person A, all the good alive people, here we are, we see this, and we meet them in the air, and then together we ascend to heaven to be with Jesus. Okay, so then according to the scriptures, what happens? What happens to person B, all the bad alive people? According to the scriptures, right, when Jesus comes and the good dead people, the dead in Christ rise first, and then all of us, we are caught in the air with them, and together we ascend to heaven, to Jesus. All the bad alive people, according to the scriptures, they just die. That's it. Okay. Again, they're not tormented. They don't like suffer. There isn't like this weird burning or whatever. They die. They cease to exist. Ultimately, because sin cannot be in the presence of holiness. We could totally explore that at a later point, but that's all I'm going to say about that. Sin cannot be in the presence of holiness. So here's a holy God, and then there is sin. It just can't be there, right? Darkness cannot penetrate the light. So it ceases to exist, and they die. And then according to person D, all of the bad dead people, when Jesus comes, what do? Nothing. They stay dead, right? So there they are. They're still in the ground, and they do absolutely nothing.
Stay tuned for tomorrow's episode as we dive deeper into how salvation really works and who is really worthy to go to heaven.